I think Mr. Carney will make an excellent governor of the Bank of England. He comes from a disciplined approach to banking, much needed in the UK, and he is really independent of all of the luggage that has taken the Bank of England down its rather difficult road in years of late.
In the last few years, it's been a bit dismaying that just about the only person who's stood up and said financial services are actually a good thing in London, the banks are a healthy thing for us to have, has been me, more or less. I think that the Bank of England itself has sometimes sent out some pretty negative signals. I think it'd be a good thing now if Mr. Carney was positive about banking, about financial services.
I don't share the hype. I think he's a good choice. I think the hype is basically making his job much more difficult because it's raising expectations. I think it's a bold choice by Mr. Osborne. I think it's a good choice by Mr. Osborne because I certainly think some of the other candidates were a little bit tainted by the Libor scandal. That's not to say that they were blamed in any way, shape or form, but I certainly think the Bank of England does need a bit of a shake-up. It does need a bit of a new broom.
The market should be reasonably comforted by Mr. Carney's candidature, and of course he also comes from an economy where there is excessive consumer debt and leverage, and of course that also continues to be something that we're very mindful of here in the UK.
Canada is a phenomenally stable environment as far as banks are concerned. What Carney did and what his predecessors have done is they've effectively ensured that Canada has an immensely robust banking system. We could all learn a lot from what they've done. I know they've overprotected, in my mind, their market, but no bad thing because they never had a banking crisis at the end of it.
There are a lot of legacy problems in Canada which will only come to light after he's left, so we can only really judge his record in Canada sometime down the track, and I'm thinking notably of the housing market. When it comes to the UK, it's a much bigger challenge. There are a lot of things to get done very quickly in the UK. And I think when it comes down to it, circumstances will dictate whether he's successful, because if the deleveraging process comes to an end during his term in office, banks start to lend again, consumers and firms want to borrow, then he will be deemed a success. But if we don't get it into that deleveraging process, I'm afraid he will not be any more successful than anybody else.